gonna get changed tonight. They're gonna get recovered tonight. That's what it's head. What are you decide?
Good morning, snooker fans, and welcome to the Mattioli Arena here in Leicester for the final day of the 2026 China Open qualifying rounds. We really do have a super Sunday in store. 2 sessions, 16 matches, and by the close of play, we will know everyone who has qualified for the main draw this August in Taiyuan City. And what a match we've got here on table number 1. It's world champion versus world champion. 2015 Crucible King Stuart Bingham up against the winner from 3 years ago, Luca Brecel. They've won the biggest prize in the sport, but only one of them can take a place in the televised stages of the China Open this year. It's best of 11 frames, first to 6. There is a mid-session interval after the 4th frame.
Stuart Bingham 4.
This is just one of 8 matches taking place across this session. As we see there, Luca not happy with I don't think that is what he planned, but he's managed to hit the red and got it safe. Yeah, so this is one of 8 matches taking place during this morning's session. As I say, the winners of all today's games join the world's top 16 for the televised stages of the £1.2 million China Open, which takes place in August. Of course, this is our feature table, but we've got some cracking matches elsewhere at the Mattioli this morning. Tom Ford is taking on Liam Highfield, Anthony McGill, Joe O'Connor. Matthew South is facing Ali Carter. Elliot Slesser versus Nopong Senkam. Hossein Vafai versus David Lilly. Daniel Wells is meeting Zhang Anda, and it's Juan Sichon against Jackson Page. So lots of action, a really big couple of hours coming ahead. Like I say, this is a huge event on the World Snooker Tour. China Open returning to the professional calendar for the first time since 2019, and it's going to be bigger and better than ever before. So then, Stuart's going to have a little pop at this one. This is the 4th and final qualifying round. We've been here since Wednesday. Everybody outside of the top 16 had to attend these qualifiers. Luca Brecel in the previous round came through a really interesting tie with Jamie Clark. Luca trailed 3-1 and 5-4, but he took the final 2 frames of the match to squeak through 6-5. He also made a century, 107 during that match. Stuart Bingham was also tested in his opening affair. He managed to get past Ian Burns 6 frames to 4. So just a bit of a cagey start here between the two. Certainly got all the makings of being a really close one, doesn't it? Okay, so Stuart pots the first ball of the match. However, I don't think he's going to be adding anything more to this break. It's just going to be a roll up to the brown.
Stepping along.
I will throughout the morning and early afternoon keep you updated with the scores and results elsewhere. Most of the seeds that came in round 3 for these qualifiers came through their opening assignments. But we do have a couple of lower ranked players and one amateur player actually in the draw. So really intriguing day ahead. Bit of a strange one, but these two have not played each other on the professional circuit for about 4 years. They last played in 2022 in the German Masters qualifying round. On that occasion, Luca won 5 frames to 1. However, in terms of their overall head-to-head record, Bingham has had the better of it down the years. So, as I say, a bit of a cagey start this. Stuart is one of the most experienced players on the professional circuit. He recently turned 50 years of age. He's been a professional player since 1995. So this is actually his 32nd consecutive season on tour. So that is incredible effort to stay on snooker's top flight for so long, and he's still one of the top players in the world. Currently ranked number 21 in the global standings. He's also ranked number 21 in the end of season provisional standings. So he's got that consistent level on tour, although he is striving to get back into the world's top 16, which would get him directly into several tournaments and some invitational ones as well. And he wouldn't have to be bothered with qualifying like this, because I'm sure this is not a match you want to have to face Luca Brecel, a fellow former world champion, to get to the main draw. So he'll be looking over the coming months to maybe win a tournament and get back into the elite bracket. So then that's a nice one from Stuart. Cue ball just gone towards side cushion though. Can he get going here? Yeah, that's a nice one. Nice little flick on the blue. So little tester with the rest here. Nicely done. So this is far from straightforward, this opportunity. Pink's out of commission, black's out of play as well. Now, has he got top side of the blue? He might just have got there. But his options here are very limited with the way the pink and black are. Okay, so it looks as if he can pop this red near the pink spot. I wonder if he's got an angle here to maybe just screw into the pink and develop it. No, he didn't.
14.
But he's just okay on the blue. So the break continues. Now then, has he got aspirations here to perhaps get on the black? You can see he's got the gap there, so he can come through, pop this red. There's a possibility he may screw into the two reds together near the top cushion, and in turn stay on the black. I think that's what his plan is. Well, he's elected against it. Back up for the blue.
20.
I think putting this red
25.
he's just got the correct side of straight on this red. He could play the pink into the opposite corner pocket. If not, he can screw back for the blue. No, he's okay. So
26.
This frame starting to open up here. It's been a really nifty effort so far from Stuart Bingham. Moves on to 33. So, said before, Stuart's been part of the professional circuit since 1995. He's entered every single edition of the China Open since its inaugural one in 1999. His best result in the event is quarterfinals. He's made that stage on 4 occasions, most recently the last edition staged in 2019. So then, he is on the black here. Got to be a little bit careful with the positional side of things. Yeah, but that's nice. So then, this is a really impressive contribution from Stuart, especially
47.
so early in the match. A couple of really nice pots, nice touches. And you should think now he'll take the frame in this visit. So that's the first half-century break of the tie. I'm sure it won't be the last.
55.
So there we go with that red. 61 up, only 59 remaining, but I think there's going to be a few more points yet to this break. Well, I've cursed him there a little bit, haven't I? But anyway, he's probably done enough to win this frame, although of course Luca will return to it. I'll really try and bring the black out here. He has. Does it pass the pink into this corner pocket? Just wriggles in. So, if you look at the table here, if he was to pop the 2 reds with blacks, the red along the top cushion here is in a really ideal position to lay a snooker on the black. So, he's got a chance here, Luca. Yeah, that's nicely done.
9.
Red is almost in a perfect position here to lay a snooker.
16.
Pop this red, pop the black. Yeah, just looking now where he wants the cue ball to be, so he can stun the cue ball in behind the black and send the red up towards the bulk end.
17.
This frame could look very different in a couple of minutes' time. just one 4-point foul that Luca needs. Oh, wow. Wow.
25.
Would you believe it? He's potted the red into the middle pocket. And, wow. I guess he's got to pot this black now. I don't think you can say that it was an unlucky pot in the red. I mean, of course, from that angle, you wouldn't expect it to go in, but really, the red shouldn't have been anywhere near the pocket. Okay, so Luca has elected to play the snooker, but of course, that's 7 points he hasn't got on his total. He's 36 behind, 27 on. That would be 3 4-point snookers. Well, there's one of them.
Luca Brecel.
Luca just sizing up where he wants the cue ball. He's going to try and lay another one here. 32 behind now with 27 on. So it's 2 4-point snookers. He could change tact later on in the frame if he wanted to. If he wanted to play, say, get a snooker on the pink. If he was to get a 5-point foul, he could tie. If he was to get 6 points, he could win with just one. But of course, you reduce your chances with fewer balls on the table. Yeah, so that's a nice hit from Stuart there. Just nudged the pink on the way through, so Stuart could put Luca in a bit of trouble here, unless he's going for the cut here. No, I think he's just trying to sneak him back. He has done.
Wow.
That middle pocket is not Luca's friend, and he has conceded the frame. So it's Stuart Bingham who goes 1-0 up. So like I say, the morning session here at the Mattioli is the first 8 matches of the day. This afternoon from 4 o'clock are the final 8 games. I'll just quickly run through the fixtures you can look forward to a little bit later on. We've got Ukrainian youngster Yulian Boyko against Lu Hongyu. An all-Chinese clash between Fang Zhenyi and Pang Shunsu. Another Chinese meeting, He Guoshan against Yao Pengchang. Aaron Hill, Ireland's #1, is up against 3-time ranking event champion Gary Wilson. Kian Jun against Jimmy Robertson. Then we've got an absolute bouter. This match will be on the feature table at 4 o'clock with Dave Hendon. It's Jack Wazowski versus Chang Bing-yu. Zhu Se takes on Dave Gilbert. And another Chinese affair between Zhou Yulong and Chen Riafu. You can watch that blockbuster match between Wazowski and Chang here on WST Play from 4 o'clock.
Second frame, what happens?
So Luca gets us underway here in frame 2. 1-0 behind. Stuart Bingham made a lovely contribution in the opening frame there, which ultimately put him 1-0 up. Stuart has won 6 ranking events throughout his career. The last of those came back in 2019 at the Gibraltar Open. Although last season he did reach the final of the snooker shootout in Blackpool, though he was denied the title by Alfie Burden. So anyway, that safety has gone wrong. Luca straight away come around to see if this black goes into the corner pocket. If it does, it's a decent little opening. Yep, that's nicely done. So, we saw Stuart in the opening frame, like a half century. Can Luca get his cue arm going here? Just seeing if you can move the red from the black. The black spot, I mean. So let's see where this goes. He's on a red. To the same corner pocket here.
Luca Brecel,
Yeah. Overcut it. So the break ends at 8. Wow, no holding back there from Stuart Bingham, straight into the pack. Now then, reds are open here, but he's not ideal on a colour, so this is a big shot. If he can sink the blue, looks like a decent chance. Oh no, just high, and now then, Luca is on this red into the green pocket. Let's see what he can make of this opportunity. Straight away, trying to get on the black. That's it. Well, I was about to say it's a decent shot, but of course, the cue ball being on the bulk cushion, it's not a nice one. So, to chip the blue in here. missed it. It's the same part of the pocket that Stuart just missed his
Yeah,
blue.
so one.
Look where the cue ball's coming, right back down here. So then, that missed blue from Stuart only cost him 1 point.
One.
So, obviously the black doesn't go into the corner pocket. Stuart is away, so
7. 8.
yeah, that's not too bad. Bit of an awkward one there, having to stretch over that red, the side cushion. Have to make do with the pink and the bolt colours for the time being, Stuart here. The black is tied up, blue near the side cushion. Is it going to come top side?
19.
Yeah, that's nicely done. So, starting to put some decent points on the board here, Stuart. Happy for the time being just to deal with the pink. Although we might be able to later on in the break get on the red next to the black, which of course would open it up. Pink goes onto its own spot.
25.
Here we go then. You can play this red next to the black.
26.
So then, this is now a really good opportunity for Stuart Bingham to double his lead here. He's missed the cannon though. He's looking a little bit puzzled there.
33.
Managed to avoid everything. So he's got a backup plan though. Overdone.
34.
See how when you get out of position just a little bit, it can snowball. So he needs to play a really good recovery shot here to get back into perfect position. He's stretching a little bit as well. Going to try and swing this around 2 cushions. Now, nice pot. How's the pace? If it cannons the blue, oh, that's perfect. So that was a really nice recovery shot there from Stuart to get back on track.
30. $45. 46.
The lead is 45, red and a colour. And Luca Brecel leads Snookers.
54.
Already his second half century of the match, and it has been an impressive start from Stuart Bingham. Both of these frames have not been straightforward. Balls have been
60.
tied up, but he's managed to manufacture 2 pivotal breaks.
61.
Breaks that have essentially won him the frames. So he settled in very nicely this morning here, Stuart Bingham. There is enough on the table for a century, but
67.
be some effort with the way the last 2 reds are. That's one of them safely dealt with. Now, he screw into this red off the yellow. That's what he's tried, but just got too much juice on the cue ball. Will he try to cut this in, or will he play the double into the corner pocket? Double it is. Oh, lovely. Beautifully done. Double, double.
71.
So, the century break is still on here. Stuart has made 628 centuries in his career. 9 of those have been maximum breaks.
79.
So he is one of the most prolific break builders of all time in the professional game. So then, you think it's all going to be about this blue. Look at that. That is absolutely spot on for Stuart Bingham.
Thank you.
There's the pink. So, this black for a break of 104. Fantastic stuff. Brilliant. Very impressive from Stuart Bingham. A century break, and he has doubled his lead. He is now 2-0 up on Luca Brecel. just have a quick look at the scores elsewhere in the arena this morning. Tom Ford and Liam Highfield are still on the opening frame. Anthony McGill, Joe O'Connor locked at 1-1. So are Matt Stout and Ali Carter. Noppon Senkam is 2-0 up on Elliot Slesser. Iran's number 1, Hossein Vafai, has taken the opener against David Lilly. Daniel Wells and Zhang Anda are 1-1. And Jackson Page is 2-0 ahead of Huan Sishun. Just a reminder, all the winners of the ties today, this morning and this afternoon sessions, they go through to the main draw, televised stages which take place between August 8th to 16th in Taiyuan City, China. The winner of this brilliant event collects £250,000, so one of the richest first prizes on the World Snooker Tour at the minute. Winners of these ties will be guaranteed £10,000 for making the main draw. Well, that looked painful, if anything. But yeah, that was a wide from Luca Brecel. I think he's looking at his tip there. Meantime, Stuart getting the cue ball cleaned. Imagine it's a miscue. So then, Stuart is away again here. This chance is a bit more orthodox than the previous 2 frames.
8.
So, low on this red, he'd probably bring in a few more reds into play here. He has.
17.
Lovely. Cue ball's just checked back. Maintains position at the business end here. Straight away, this looks like a decent opening.
25.
Yeah. It's nicely done.
That's it.
Again, gets high on the red, so he can stay on the black. Break
40.
moves on to 40. That's 5 reds, 5 blacks. So then, he's low on the black this time. Really go into the pack here. Just play a little nudge into those 2 reds that are together. That's done. Though he may have to go up elsewhere for another colour off this red into the middle pocket.
69.
So yet another break over 50 for Stuart Bingham. You feel as if there's going to be a lot more to come here.
54. 55.
This really is fantastic stuff from the 50-year-old. So then looking for one more red after this black. I think again he'll just try to brush into the red to the right of the pink here. He has. It's not worked out perfectly though, so
60.
a little bit of pressure on this red.
Stuart Bingham.
And he has missed it. So the red went wrong. There's still 75 points on the table. So that was frame ball red. Stuart missed.
One.
Now, this would really get Luca going if he could manufacture a clearance here. A lot of work to do though. Oh dear.
8.
Well, kind of sums up Luca's morning so far.
Luca Brecel. 8.
But that's a decent shot. Keeps him in the frame. 60 down, 67 on. Luca hit enough of this red to play it into the middle pocket.
One.
He could, at the same time, he could just nudge the red away from the pink and open everything up. So this is not a bad opportunity for Luca Brecel here. He's got a few points to play with, so he doesn't have to play the black off every red.
Seven. Eight.
This be exactly what Luca needs, because Stuart has been very good so far in this match. He made a half century the opening frame, a 104 in frame 2. He was going along perfectly, really, in this frame on a break of 68, but just got a cannon slightly wrong, which left him with a trickier shot on the red, hampered. It was essentially frame ball, he missed it. So if Luca can punish here,
15.
we could be looking at this as a big turning point in a few hours' time. So he's 39 behind. Not got too many points now to play with because he's taken a few pinks, so he has got to screw back here. Yeah. What's the angle like, though, to get on this final red on the bolt cushion? If Luca is just off straight with his pink, he can screw back directly onto it. Oh dear, wow. Wow. Oh dear.
Stuart Bingham, 6.
He was having to put a lot of bottom on that cue ball to screw it all the way back to the bulk area. And that's a real pity for Luca Brecel, because he was starting to gain a little bit of momentum. That miscue has almost certainly cost him the frame now, because he's 44 behind, only 35 left. And Stuart would be quite relieved to have seen that, because it would have hurt if he lost this frame. So Stuart sinks the final red, and that seals the frame. So he is going to go 3-0 up, halfway to a spot in the main draw later this year. And there we go. It is 3-0 to Stuart Bingham. He needs 3 more for a spot at the televised stages in several weeks' time. Here in the UK, it's Father's Day coming up, and the World Snooker Tour are running a special promotion involving the English Open and British Open ranking events a little bit later on in the year. Supporters can purchase 1 ticket and receive a complimentary ticket for their father if they use the code online DAD147. So that's all capital letters, that's DAD147. The offer is valid on all-day tickets for Monday to Wednesday, and the offer expires on June the 21st. So that's a great deal for supporters if you're going along to those 2 events later this season.
Thank you. 3-4. Luca Brecel, the break.
So then, back to action here. Well, it is all going wrong for Luca Brecel.
206.
I was going to say, this is a big frame just before the mid-session interval. You really feel as if the Belgian has got to take this if he's got aspirations to win this tie. But that's a shocking break-off. Potted the pink. And look, straight away, Stuart is back in the balls. This will be frustrating for Luca because he battled really well in his first qualifying match here earlier this week against Jamie Clark. As I mentioned, he was 3-1 down, 5-4 down on the final 2 frames, so that was a real sort of morale-boosting victory. But he's not got going today at all.
8.
Meantime, Stuart is not perfect on the colour. Will he take this long blue on into the green pocket? Well, he's going to take the green on instead. So then, a rare miss from Stuart Bingham this morning. But what can Luca do? Good pot. He's just managed to hold the pink, but as you can tell from his expression, it's far from ideal. Wow.
Oh.
That, again, just summarises his morning so far. He's trying to make something happen. It looked reckless, that shot, but he had to get the cue ball up and around the angles. He's potted the pink, potted a red, and look where the cue ball's landed. Stuart had insult to the wound there, saying you can have another go. I think Luca just got to take a few breaths here. Be very annoyed with the way things have gone this morning. But if he could somehow salvage a frame, 3-1 would at least get him going into the match. Even if he was to lose this frame 4-0, we have seen people win matches, best of 11 matches, from 4 frames down. Perhaps at the interval he could maybe reset and just go again on resumption. It's a nice shot, but I think those 2 reds are blocking each other. Can he get through to this other red?
7.
So just get through to this red here. Just not coming easy, is it at all for Luca Brecel? Everything he's sort of touching here at the minute is causing him problems or going wrong.
Yellow.
So looks like yellow. Yeah.
Thank you.
So then,
Luca Brecel 8.
looks as if Stuart can cut this red into the corner pocket. Cue ball needs a bit of controlling though. He's decided to take this other red on. It's a good one.
Five. Six.
As we said earlier, last season, Stuart reached the final of the snooker shootout in Blackpool. Was denied trophy by Alfie Burden. Throughout the campaign, he also made 2 further ranking event quarterfinals at the Welsh Open and the German Masters. In the meantime, he's missed that pink there unexpectedly, so he's played a couple of ragged shots since breaking down on 60 odd in the last frame. Pretty much up until then he played perfectly. So what can Luca muster up here?
One.
Really has been a
one.
morning to forget for Luca Brecel, and it must just be so frustrating for him because we know what an amazing player, amazing talent he is. He won the World Championship back in 2023 with his own brand of incredible swashbuckling snooker, and we have seen it in glimpses since then as well. And we saw it before the World Championship, obviously. You know, he's won 4 ranking event titles in total. But performances like this morning must be so frustrating for him. Provisionally, on the end of the season list, he's actually outside the top 64, so he may face a battle to actually keep his tour card this year, although you would think somewhere along the line he would pick up a very decent result to pull him away from such danger. I think he has talked about rebuilding his game, and there have been a few signs of encouragement over the last sort of 12-18 months. He battled well through his opening qualifying match here earlier this week, so he's picked up some ranking points from that victory.
16.
But it's just not happened at all today, has it?
17.
Stuart 40 points up,
24.
red and colour. It looks like a clean sweep of frames in this opening mini session. And on the whole, it's been a very impressive display. The 2015 world champion. Made a break of 56 in the opening frame, 104 in the second, and a 68 in the third. So he's missed that black. I think Luca is coming back to the table. Bit of a surprise, he's 49 points down, 35 on, but feels as if he's got a little bit more to give before conceding. Straight away, that's a nice snooker. That's a good escape from Stuart. Luca is carrying on. A little bit surprised, but fair play to him for continuing under the circumstances. So he's trying to make things better here.
Thank you.
Stuart gets to the potting angle. Not quite. Just while we've got this little passage of play, just quickly run through the score lines elsewhere so far. Liam Highfield. He's in really good form, isn't he? He qualified for the Crucible a couple of months back, and he's 2-0 up on Tom Ford. Anthony McGill 2-1 ahead of Joe O'Connor. Ali Carter leads Matthew Stout 2-1. A fine morning so far for Thailand's Noppon Senkam. He is 3-0 up on Elliot Slesser. And Hossein Vafai has the same advantage over David Liddy, 3-0 up. Sangander, former international championship winner, he is 2-1 ahead of Daniel Wows. And Jackson Page leads Juan Sishun 2-1. Lots of action going on this morning at the Mattioli. A few hours' time we will know the first 8 qualifiers who will be joining the World's Top 16 in Taiyuan City in August.
1.
So Luca's potted that red. Surely you would think hopes of winning the frame have completely gone now. It's 43
6.
behind, 27 on. But he's still plugging away here.
Luca Brecel 6.
Stuart can't quite put the frame away. I'm sure if he potted the next ball, Luca would concede. But I guess the way the pink and black are, brown as well, they're acting as a bit of a shield. Maybe Luca thinks he can lay a few snookers here. Although, of course, it's not about laying them, it's your opponent not escaping from them. Anyway, Stuart can pop this yellow, put it to bed. But he hasn't. So his half-time cup of tea will have to wait a little bit more.
Cool.
Stuart wouldn't want to be reminded about this, but last season at the UK Championship, which has got almost the identical format to this tournament, in the qualifying rounds he was 5-0 up on Scott Donaldson, but ended up losing the tie 6-5. So he'll know that matches like this can turn around, and quite dramatically. Although at present his opponent is struggling this morning, so it's going to need a big turnaround for something like that to happen. Now then, this is green. Well,
Stuart Bingham.
yeah, I think Luca's conceded. So then, fantastic morning's work for Stuart Bingham, but it's been a session to forget for Luca Brecel so far. It's the 2015 world champion who leads 4 frames to 0. They'll be going off for their mid-session interval, 15 minutes. They'll be back then, and so will I. So we'll see you then. Okay, welcome back everybody. The players have returned from the mid-session interval. And Stuart Bingham is breaking off, although not very well. He's in a really strong position, isn't he? 4-0 up here. Total control. As for Luca, it really has been a morning to forget so far. Everything he's touched has pretty much gone wrong, so he needs to reset. And that is not a bad way to start. If you weren't with us for the opening part of this match, Stuart Bingham made breaks of 56, 104 and 68 in building a 3-0 lead. He then won a bit of a scrappy fourth frame. So you would feel that Luca really has to win this frame. It's a very, very rare occurrence that players lose from 5-0 up in a best of 11, although it has happened. As we mentioned beforehand, Stuart Bingham was 5-0 up on Scott Donaldson last year in the UK Championship and lost 6-5. But those instances are few and far between, so this is a big frame for Luca. No messing about there, straight into the pack. Could have been nicer. I think he may have a couple of options here. Potentially the two reds next to the bottom right hand pocket could be a plant. The red over the bottom left hand pocket, I think, can be snicked in, although it is very thin. Well, no, he can't get through directly to the two reds, so he may have to play a 3-ball plant here. Yeah, and that's, again, it just sums Luca's morning up. They had a really positive shot going into the pack there. He hit him really well. And he was unfortunate not to have landed on something simpler than that. Stuart was very impressive in the opening 3 frames of this match. He missed a ball in frame 3 on 68 though. He was hampered on it. Luca had a chance to counter clear for 2-1, but he miscued on a pink, trying to screw back for the final red into bulk. Has he got the legs? Yes. Just. Again, if you're just joining us, this is one of 8 matches currently in play at the Mattioli Arena here in Leicester. The winners of all today's matches qualify for the main draw of the China Open, which takes place between August 8 to 16 in Taiyuan City, China. The world's top 16 are already in the draw for that. They do not need to come to these qualifiers. This is a huge money event. Most lucrative professional tournament ever held in China. £1.2 million in total. £250,000 going to the champion. so much history attached to it. It was first played in 1999. Ding Junhui, of course, home hero. As a teenager, won it in 2005, defeated Stephen Hendry in the final, and that really helped spark the snooker boom in China and the Far East. Okay, so that's gone a little bit wrong. Let's have the pink though in the middle. Could take the black if he wanted to. The way things are going here, Stuart Bingham will sense that he can get this job done and in extra quick time as well. Oh, wow, that was unexpected. Perhaps he was concentrating too much on where the cue ball was going. So, does Luca have an opener here? Did of sorts, but when you're 4-0 down and struggling, you do not want that as your opening pot. So if Stuart can sink this red along the top cushion, which he can, he is plumb in here. In a few minutes' time, it could be 5-0.
Nine.
Stuart recently turned 50 years of age. He turned professional in 1995 and he has been on the top flight ever since. So this is his 32nd consecutive season on tour. And he is still one of the best players in the sport. Yeah, that's nicely done. So the lead moves to 37. No real obstacles here.
25.
It's about Stuart minding his work more than anything. So then 53 up, this red, and Luca Brecel will need a snooker. Safely deposited. So we've had the interval, but it's a continuation of what we saw in the opening 4 frames.
40.
Luca was unfortunate though. He went into the pack, played a real positive shot, opened him up, but didn't land very nicely on a red. Was forced to take on a 3-ball plant, missed it. Whilst Stuart didn't get the job done in that visit,
Stuart Bingham, 40.
It looks as if he's got it done in the next.
Frame conceded, frame.
Out with the
Stuart
red,
Bingham.
and Luca has conceded, and his bad morning
I'll do it.
continues here. It's now 5-0 to Stuart Bingham, and he requires just one more frame to win and book a spot in the main draw of the China Open.
Frame 6. Luca Brecel, Suppoting.
So Luca Brecel gets us underway here in frame 6. Will this be the last frame of the match? Luca does lose the match, which of course it's extremely likely now. I think he's just got to put it down as a very bad day or morning at the office. As I mentioned earlier, he had a really good win over Jamie Clark in the previous round. Battled really well, won it on the deciding frame, so that was a really encouraging result, and he picked up some ranking points for that win. So he'll have to just dust himself down for the upcoming Wuhan Open qualifiers, which are taking place here next week.
One.
Well, Stuart's found one there. Has he got the gap for the pink? Yes, he did. So, Stuart in again, although it's not really a clear-cut chance at present. Just quickly take the opportunity to give you some updates. The scores elsewhere in the arena this morning. Liam Highfield, he's now 3-0 up on Tom Ford. Fantastic effort from Liam Highfield over the last couple of months. Qualified for the Crucible several weeks ago. And Tina McGill, he's on his way to qualification. He's 4-1 up on Joe O'Connor. Matt Sout and Ali Carter locked up at 2 frames each. Noppen Senkam 3-1 ahead of Elliot Slesser. Hossein Vafai, he's also storming his way to qualification. He's 4-0 ahead of David Lilly. And the other two games are all square at 2-2. Daniel Wells against Zhang Anda and Juan Sijun against Jackson Page. So looks like we've got a few matches that could go all the way this morning. We are back here this afternoon from 4 o'clock with the final batch of final qualifying round games. Main feature match here on table number 1 that we're covering on WST Play. Dave Hendon will be in the comms box. And it's an absolute cracker between Jack Lazowski and Chang Bing Yu. So that's from 4 p.m. this afternoon here in the UK.
Stuart Bingham, 13.
Okay, that's gone wrong for Stuart. Will Luca just sort of try to free himself up here? You would think he doesn't have any real aspirations of winning this match. Of course, there is a chance, but his main priority will be just to get a frame on the board and avoid the whitewash. All the world's top 16 have entered this China Open. They're already through to the last 32 in China. They're awaiting the 16 qualifiers from today.
One.
That's a good one from Stuart. Reigning champion, number 1 seed, is going to be Neil Robertson. He won the last edition of the China Open back in 2019. On that occasion, he defeated Jack Lazowski 11-4 in the final. So Neil will be at the top of the draw as the number 1 seed. At the bottom will be number 2 seed, the newly minted world champion, Wu Yiza. He's set to be competing on home soil. World number 1 Judd Trump's involved. Last year's world champion Zhao Xingtong. Of course, 7 times world champion Ronnie O'Sullivan is in the draw as well. So that is really going to be a stacked event this August. Stuart unable to carve open a clear-cut chance as yet. Got a 21-point lead here. So, at last, a little bit of run for Luca, although he's cue ball's glued to the side cushion. So initially, it looked as if that was a very handy flick off the red. Straight away, he's dished up another problem.
Luca
Really
Brecel
had to
1.
get some work on that cue ball. Has he got second prize here, or can? Well, it looks as if Stuart can pop this red past the black. For a second I thought Luca had got away with it, but that's not the way this morning has gone.
One.
Yeah, if Luca does lose this 6-0, he really just has to sort of scrub out today, put it down. It's just a bad day at the office, although
Stuart Bingham 1.
not quite out of it just yet. Stuart misses that blue.
One.
Liam Highfield is now 4-0 up on Tom Ford. That's their mid-session interval. Now then, again, Luca's gone into balls. It's not worked out perfectly. He is on a red here. Oh, surely not. If this black goes, that is just summarise everything that's happened to Luca today. Oh.
8.
Well, mercy for Luca Brecel there. If the black had have gone on the pink, that would have almost been laughable.
9. Fifteen.
And again, I'm not sure he's on anything
22.
here. Another cannon that has gone wrong. Trusting to a little bit of luck. Cue ball's gone to the side cushion. All these reds are sort of blocking each other, so just the safety for Luca.
Luca Brecel 22.
Hossein Vafai is now 5-0 up on David Lilly, so could be a bit of a race between him and Stuart Bingham to see who's going to be the first winner of the morning. Up on Senkam is 4-1 up on Elliot Slesser. Luca is back in action here in a couple of days' time on Tuesday, the Wuhan Open qualifiers. I believe he's got the winner of the match between Stephen Hallworth and new women's world champion Chaya Chinoy. That'll be a best of 9 affair. Look at this, see. Into the red, left Stuart plumb in on it. So can Stuart wrap the match up in this visit? On the whole, it's been a pretty impressive display from Stuart. I'm sure he wouldn't have been expecting his opponent to have struggled as much as Luca has, although Luca has also had some rotten luck as well.
Scramble.
But it's been a very polished performance from the 2015 world champion. Currently number 21 in the world, 21st in the provisional end of season rankings, so he's not a million miles away from getting back into the top 16. Probably the way the rankings work, may need to win an event, perhaps get to a couple of finals to go back into that elite bracket, but that's certainly not beyond Bingham's capabilities. And he picks up £10,000 minimum here if he does go on to win this game. Black will go back on its own spot once Stuart pots this. May go up for the blue here, not sure that he can hold for the black. Yeah, just wants to keep it simple.
20.
Though, it's not got top side of the blue, so this contest isn't quite over just yet. Stuart may need to play just one more good shot to make sure of it in this visit.
25.
Got the pot, although a little bit too much drag on the cue ball. He is on this black. Yeah, Luca looking on. already can. Is the black in? It is. He will near a side cushion though. But he's 32 points ahead. So a red and the colour. There's the red. So this black and Luca Brecel will need snookers. Surely, if Stuart pots this red, that will seal the deal. Wow, opted against it. A bit surprising. It's not a surprise to see Luca come back to the table. 40 points behind, 35 on. So 2 snookers, but if you look up top of the table, a couple of colours next to each other, so good shields to get snookers, although he may not have the opportunity to do that here, because Stuart will have a go at this red. Knocked on the door a few times, didn't go in. Second prize though. Wow. Again, that's what's been happening to Luca this morning. Red's down, and there it is, handshake. The players have a little of an exchange there, talking to each other. Neither one of them would have expected that to be that scoreline. It's been just a bad day at the office for Luca Brecel. Everything he touched went wrong. Stuart Bingham was impressive on his side of things. Made a break of a hole 104 in the second frame. It's been a very good morning for the 2015 World Champion. He is a 6-0 winner over Luca Brecel, and he books his spot in the main draw of this August's China Open in Towan City. Thank you very much for joining me, Michael Day, this morning on WST Play. Like I say, there are 7 other matches going on elsewhere in the arena. You can keep updated with the latest scores over on the World Snooker Tour website. But we'll be back with more live coverage this afternoon from 4 p.m. when Dave Hendon's in the commentary box for an absolutely mouth-watering tie between Jack Lisowski and Chang Bing Yu. So that's from 4 p.m. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you again soon.